All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Four Titles, One Truth. I'm Lance.
You all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good. Yeah.
You got the energy of just
Hey, man, I get to lead off today,
Okay.
so you know. Woo.
What's up, y'all? You know it's your boy Tommy. Look, today we're asking a big question. Now, we've talked about confidence. Now we want to talk about what really motivates you. Like, where does drive come from for us, and what keeps it alive?
All right, let's get into it.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So let me ask you, what's the first memory you have of being truly motivated to achieve something, even if it was small?
Probably when I was in elementary school.
Okay.
Probably around that fifth grade.
Uh-huh.
Finished first.
Do well,
Yeah,
huh?
went to do first. Do well. Finished first.
It was a tournament or just a little
It was a
competition?
tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like a little kids tournament. So
Did you win?
I did.
Well, you cleaned
Yeah,
up.
it was good. Man. It was good. Yeah, I was on it.
That was when you first started wrestling?
Yeah, when I first started wrestling, it's called it
Organized,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
organized with the other kids because I practiced and did stuff like that. You know,
Okay.
growing up. So
All right. For me, I think just playing in the neighborhood was what started my motivational fire. But because we used to have like who the fastest in the neighborhood was.
yeah, you fast, boy.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So that was something. But I think the first thing that I truly wanted that I didn't walk in knowing I had was being quarterback on our Pee Wee football team. And I had an opportunity to be quarterback
Okay.
because the coach had seen me throw the ball. And like I said, had a little bit of athleticism about
Zip
me.
on it.
Yeah, and so I ended up having to compete, in Little League, and I won. So that was the first time that I was like, ooh, I really want something. And I tried my best to get it. So that was pretty cool.
Did the Army give you motivation, or did it test and reshape the motivation you already had?
I think it's kind of both.
Okay.
So I already had, I always wanted to be first in everything.
Okay, so you always had that drive.
I always had it, yeah.
Okay.
But I think the Army really woke it up.
Okay.
And help me apply it to more than just athletics,
Okay.
to life.
Take it across. Take it across the board of things.
Absolutely. So I think once I get into basic training, and I'm gonna tell you my actual thoughts in basic training. The first moment we did the cattle thing, and they dropped us off in front of our barracks, and I just remember we had to sit on our duffel bags, and the drill sergeants went around, and it was like they were drafting you. So you'd have to hold your ID card up, and the drill sergeants come around, take your ID card. No, I don't want this joker. Yeah, the mental games of drill sergeantry is a mother sucker. And so I'm sitting there like, of course they're going to pick me.
Right.
I'm going to be on the best squad. In my mind, I'm thinking it's like a team. But in reality, they just playing games with you. But so Joker picked up my ID card, looked at it. He said, stand up, see how tall you are, like you drafted. And then he said, took my ID card and told me to move my stuff upstairs, whatever. So, and then we just got smoked. And for those that don't know, smoke means calisthenics and exercises until the walls sweat.
And muscle failure.
Oh my
and
gosh!
everything else.
Yeah, and but it wasn't as troubling to me as some of the other people. And I was like, in my mind, I was just like, my confidence kept growing in that moment. But from that moment on, I started to learn more about the military. And once you break through that ceiling of basic training and you start to think about, this is going to be my career now, you start to know what promotions are and how to get them. You know what promotion boards are and stuff like that. And then you start to understand that, oh, I do have a little say in my career or whatever. Right. So once I started to realize that being lower enlisted is not as fun as being a non-commissioned officer, then I started putting my energy to try to be a non-commissioned officer. That was
your motivation.
It was. Because I wanted to be in charge, you know, and go and get things done. Because it wasn't even about the pay, really.
Right.
I didn't, once again, not really thinking about the money aspect of it, because for some reason at that time, specialist pay was seemed to fit what I was doing, living in the barracks and only paid for clothes. But then you know, the longer you're in the military, the longer you start to see where you can put that energy and that desire, and just
start getting an idea what your worth is.
Yeah, and then the reason I sort of described it like that, because, you know, we talked about the jobs we had before. Not for a second did I think I'd work forever at Kmart or push and to be promoted or whatever when I was in construction or when I was at Kmart, you know. But when I was in the Army, even though initially I didn't think I'd do more than one term, which was 4 years at that time, I had no drive to be successful in anything but basketball, and that reality slapped me in the face when I realized you ain't going to the pros. So what are you doing? But that was it, man.
All right, mine. I would say that for me, it was the certain situation. You know, it's the certain situations, and you brought up one of them where you're looking at the promotions, where you're like, okay, this is what I need to do to get promoted. Because when you're young, hopefully you should be hungry. Yeah. So you're looking for something to put the opportunities to where it's like, I want to be in charge, because you get pissed and tired when you start work, because I hear it all the time from my...
You shouldn't be in charge of me.
Yes, from my son. It's like, well, I would do, and I can't believe... And it's like, dude...
Do you know how to
do what you need to do to be in charge? You know, then you can run stuff how you want to run it. But so the Army brought about different... Because I was already motivated. Because at that point, especially when I came in, I knew that I wanted to get to a certain, I felt like I wanted to get to a certain rank where I felt like, okay, this was...
What was that rank in the beginning?
If I made it to Lieutenant Colonel, and I said I would have had a good career. I felt like I would have had a really good career, because I know that Lieutenant Colonel is one of those, is a hard to get to.
Not everybody gets it.
Rank. But, you know, when you start looking at Colonel, it's real hard, just because it's like especially
in the beginning.
Yeah, and then just to even think about trying to get to general, you know, it's like, I ain't, you know. So, but if I felt like if I could make it to Lieutenant Colonel, because I knew looking forward, you know, in the future, it's like, okay, I know I can do this. And that's young, no kids or anything like that. Yep. So I wanted to make it to Lieutenant Colonel. So it was like, okay, I need to do this for my military piece, and then it was for my professional piece as a nurse. It was like, okay, I want to specialize in something. I want to get certified. I want to, you know. So then it was getting
building,
all of the getting the
foundation,
alphabet soup behind you know, behind
your name.
So it's so those things were motivate. And the good thing, and I say the good thing about the Army, whether you are officer or enlisted, is it's structured in a way so that it's attainable goals. There's things that are attainable that you can get to, you know, and also, you know, separate, you know, they're attainable, and you can also excel in them and make yourself, separate yourself from the group, so that you can get to, if you're, hopefully everybody that's in, they want to get promoted, you know, to get promoted or to get that certification or to get, you know, those things. So, it probably motivated a little more once I got in, because then it's like, ooh, I need to do
You could
this, so I
see
get promoted.
the
Oh, I need to
direction
do
you
this
wanna
for
go.
my
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
it. So it was a lane for the military soldiering things, and then it was a lane for the nursing professional things. That it was like, okay, I need this is
Right.
what's start building
What
on
you need to
what's
do.
next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So my first, in my mind, long-term goal was to be a staff
A
sergeant.
staff sergeant,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, because you know what? Growing up, man, it just seemed like staff sergeants were like it. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like they had all the knowledge. You saw the sergeant first classes, but they weren't always around. The first sergeant, you only saw him come yell in formation and go back in. Sergeant major, you never saw the sergeant major. You
saw
know.
the E6s just running the show.
They were making
Running the
things
show.
happen. Yeah, and so it just that was it. That one rocker. I can get that one rocker, and so. So that was my first goal, and that was a heck of an achievement. My partner, named Reggie Reed, he actually pinned on my rank. Yeah, and so I remember that. Yeah, that was cool.
Nice. Nice.
I liked it. So all right, let's take it towards as a black man.
Okay.
Do you feel like, and it's just in you, do you feel like motivation comes more from proving people wrong, or is it proving something to yourself?
I think a little bit of both,
Yeah.
but the initial was probably proving people wrong because the expectations that people have for black men, especially young black men, are not the greatest. So
Right.
it's like, okay, I'm gonna show you, and
Right.
but then that's where I feel like it starts coming from within. It comes from within yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Starts coming from within yourself big time then, because it's like, okay, because things are. I mean, everything isn't easy.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So a lot of times you have to pull that
Yeah,
out of yourself.
anger only takes you so far.
I mean that'll get you started, get you
Yeah.
rolling, but it's not gonna maintain you
Yeah.
and help you to do the things that you need to do to that motivation to get you to do the things that you need to do to be successful and things. So absolutely, I think it's a combination of the
Yeah.
two. But when you do meet that goal, the first
Yeah,
motivator
yeah,
feels. I mean, you always go back to that one. Feels
Yeah.
the best, where it's like, see, I
Yeah.
told you.
that's
Yeah.
true. And I'll say that the older I got, the more it felt like I was proving people wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The younger I was, it just seemed like proving something to myself.
Like you were competing with yourself.
Yeah, and so I'm just break it down. So my drive as a kid was to try to get noticed by my dad.
I was gonna say, do you
Yeah.
think the initial motivation, did it start from where did it start from? Did
Yeah.
it start from trying
Dad.
to?
It 100% started
Yeah.
with my dad, because he, and like we talked about in that episode. So like I saw my dad as like a superhero, because in my mind, he was huge, he was respected, and he was just capable of anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't, as a man, he was what a man was, right? In my eyes, even
Right.
to this day, including the faults. He was how, in my mind, he was how I always believed that other people should see.
That's how you picture.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you picture and
100%,
said,
yeah.
"This is
Yeah.
this is the mold."
And so early on, as a kid,
I don't think
to
that
high school,
I don't even think it stops, man. I mean,
well,
because
that's the thing. So it didn't stop for me, but it changed a little bit, because
Okay.
once I left home and joined the military, I didn't have, his name wasn't mentioned everywhere I went like it was at home.
right.
So I didn't have to, because one of my fears was being Tom Jones's son, and then somebody see me and be like,
That's how
Tom is your dad? That would have knocked me off my feet, right? And so that's what I tried to aspire to
Okay.
in Middletown, right?
Okay.
And when we'd go back to Troy or wherever he was known, wherever we went, I always wanted to say, I can see I can see that because that's even to this day when people say I look like him, that triggers,
Touches.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it melts me because it's something I've always wanted to be, But anyway, once I joined the military and left home, I'm talking about away from home, I didn't have that mark on the wall anymore. So I was, I started getting motivated by people around me. Like, this dude think he's faster than me, or this dude think he's stronger than me, or this dude think he could be a better non-commissioned officer. So that's how I started to fuel my motivation that way. And a lot of stuff was probably in my own head, But yeah, I was that guy. And then I wasn't really aware of I'm not going to say aware. It wasn't a thing to me to have to prove myself as a black person yet.
Okay.
Because looking left and right, they're white and black people and all other races failing. Especially in the Army, you see horrible soldiers of all races here. You see good soldiers of all races here. You see great soldiers of all races here, and you see different, especially when you're talking about the support side of the military. It's a lot more racially mixed than like the infantry. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't a number one factor for me. Now, I'm not saying that racism wasn't around.
No, I mean, it was. I mean, I know in my situation, just because it's not as many black officers, and then male black officers,
right.
And then for what
it's because you're in a specialized field. That's why I say.
So it was like,
yeah. But when you're talking logistics,
right? Yeah, I understand.
There's a lot of that, and so you see leadership that's the same color you are.
Right. Yeah.
You see battle buddies the same color and that stuff like that. So for me, that didn't become a drive until I became a senior non-commissioned officer. Until I started getting in the rooms, then you start to see people that look at you like, "What are you doing here?" And some people would actually say that, and that's where I started to feel that, you don't know who I am, huh?
Right.
You don't know my path. You don't know that I'm here because I'm supposed to be here. And that's when the energy of my motivation turned to, yes, it was still for me, but now I'm like, when I walk into a room and I sit down at a daggone table,
you're going to know who it is.
If you don't, you're going to find out real soon. You know what I'm saying? And so that was same race. That was other races, other genders. It was whatever. But that was where my motivation became. I want to be not just the best non-commissioned officer I could be, whatever rank I was. It was these jokers around here are going to know that I'm as good as I act like I am. Right. If that makes sense.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
That's the, I guess the other thing when you're talking about motivation and how your father was the one that initially fueled that because you want to make him proud. Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing for me, man. I mean, and I that's what I was saying. I said I don't think it ever stops because even though I wasn't home, I wasn't living at home, or and I was away and I'm getting stationed everywhere, and all that stuff. It was still I guess in my head, my motivation was like, I'm carrying my name. Yeah. I'm carrying the Taylor name. Yeah. So I got to show and prove on that. Yeah. But I mean, and that was the thing is like, I said, I'm going to make because then it got to be like, okay, I want to make, got to be the point where it's like, okay, I want to make 06 because it was ROTC 06, junior ROTC 06 person working at my father's school, running their ROTC program because they had a thing, and he was talking about, the colonel, and I'm like, I can do that.
Just wait.
That's right. So you could be. So I mean, so that's the one thing that I was really proud and satisfied is when I did make 06 and
that on you.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I get it.
He promoted me whenever I was
Yeah.
Well, so, but yeah, see, I don't, yeah, that's what I say. I don't think it ever stop, even though it changed. I think motivation
Yeah.
changes,
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
when you talk about
Absolutely.
especially when we're younger. A lot of it is we're driving ourselves because we want to, and then when we do get to that pinnacle or that upper
That
levels,
destination we've been
yeah, I
pushing
mean,
for.
then it's like, okay, then your motivation starts becoming. You start really looking at other folks and
Yeah.
your what you know, whatever your job is and your
Right.
situation, and seeing what can you do
Yeah.
to motivate
Yeah.
that your motivation starts changing to, okay, what can we do to try to get this better, to be more efficient, to get these processes.
Yeah.
So I mean, instead of looking at
All you.
because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I've hit where I'm going to hit for for this for whatever the direction is. It's like, okay, I've hit that thing, so let me redirect some of this to this and this. And
Not for me, buddy. It was like I said, I 100% agree, and I hope it didn't come across. But yeah, my dad, so much that when I retired, I still said, I hope I made him proud. You know what I'm saying? And he had been gone for 20 years then. So yeah, my dad was the number one fuel to my motivation. But like I said, when I got to a point to where I started to see and understand how other people were looking at you when you would, not every day, but when you walk into those rooms, and then you can start seeing in their face to where they're like, what's this joker doing there? Who is this? That's when my motivation changed to, I don't just want to make it. I want to be that. You know what I'm saying? And my goal, and this may be selfish or whatever, but my goal, and I've said this before in life growing up, that when you met me, my goal was to make sure you walked away saying, now that's a non-commissioned officer. That was my drive, my motivation. That's how I carried myself, presented myself. That's how I studied. That's how I improved myself. It was all based off of that, because I got sick and tired of walking in the rooms and not being the top dog in that room, and people just any questions and not looking in your area because you're the young sergeant first class there, or you're the staff sergeant that's filling in for the sergeant first class that might be there, or you're the sergeant first class that's sitting in that the first sergeant ain't there, so the sergeant major ain't really paying no attention to. Yeah, so that was my fire.
okay,
And a lot of the time it was a different race that was putting that feeling out there. But I considered it a stereotype instead of racism, because, like I said, once they hear me speak, or once they know that I am a very capable non-commissioned officer, people's relationships change towards you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like you said before, to where your reputation starts to follow you. You know, and so that's less proving you have to do, because you've put that fire out
they
there.
know already.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
All right. How much of your motivation has come from being a husband and a father versus chasing your own personal goals?
So our situation is just completely different, because I was single for most of my career, and then when I got married, I was already first sergeant level, and my only goal at that time was sergeant major. You know, or near term, being the best first sergeant I could be, and then being sergeant major. And so it added to the Jones name. It added to representing for your family, right? And it added to a financial motivation and focus, because now you got a wife and you got a kid, you know, so now you need to make sure that you're able to provide and be that way for you. So there's a clear turning point in my career of me being solely focused on me and trying to be the best me I could be, and then all of a sudden switching up and understanding. And that was still a process for me, because no matter what anybody tells you, it's hard to change who you are and it's hard to adjust who you are, especially immediately. So you first have to see the reason to change, and then you have to want to change. Yeah, and that want, it can be 10%, it could be 50%, but until it's 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and you were deep in the game.
Yeah,
deep in the game.
Yeah.
So
that was my my motivation focus from me to family, because when I left home, my sister independent, mother, father independent, so I didn't have, and dad was still working, so it's not like I had to help out financially. Whatever. It was literally just me moving on. So
yourself and I.
Yeah. Now your story's a little different.
Well, I was married, but we were still. I mean, we didn't have kids.
Yeah.
So it was still.
Well, you came in.
Yeah, came in. I was married. I wasn't. But it was still. It was still.
Your
her
own
career,
goals.
my career. We still had those goals where I did. What are you doing? Until it comes to the. Start coming to the point of assignment. PCS and then assignments, and then knowing where you was like, where am I going? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're both gonna go. Then it's just like, okay, I can.
See, I never had that.
Yeah. So, and that's probably the hardest thing about that, but it didn't change. That didn't change the motivation piece, because it was
already
still.
there.
Yeah, it was still like, wherever I'm going, okay, this is how I need to make this work. This is what we need to do to be successful. To try to still chipping at those goals. It's like when we started having kids, and then it was like, oh shoot.
Then it changed.
All right, then you start looking at, okay, a
little you.
Yeah, then you start, and it's like, okay, you need to take care of this little person. Okay, now we got to start looking at different school, daycares first and schools, because you want to, what's going to be best for them. And then it's like, okay, we got to, paying for, I would start putting away to pay for college. And so the motivation, for things get probably stronger.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I absolutely have to do this.
When it's just you can fail, because you know that you'll dust yourself off, because you have that fire and that confidence in you. Dust yourself off, get up, and start going again. But then when I had my son, that's when I was like, there's no way I can fail. And that's what started changing you'll never catch me in drugs. You'll never catch me DUI. You'll never catch me. Yeah, that's when all that stuff, fighting, all that stuff calmed down. All that stuff calmed down after he was born, because I started to remember, like, how's he going to see me, and I was very focused on making sure that no matter what, he saw me as a man, the same way I felt about people not commissioned officers. So.
Yeah, and then especially like as we were going, as our careers, me and Audra's careers were going, he said, oh man, I already knew she was a superstar. So it was like, oh, she's getting these opportunities. And it was like, all right, yep, we can do that.
Well,
and I'll figure it out.
Motivation,
then it so it was, I don't think it didn't change being a husband, being a father, didn't change the personal goals or anything like that. It just amplified and made me have to like, okay, not going in that direction anymore. We're gonna take a little left and back, get back on the road this way, type of a thing where it was still getting to the still the drive, just making sure that
everybody was included.
Folks were taking care. You were taking care. Okay, you're good. You're especially after Miles, it was like, okay, you're good. Okay, yep, let's go.
Yeah.
So.
And it was for me, like when I left home, before Nikki, the Army never turned off. With Nikki, I learned that it should turn off, and then eventually.
Did she help you?
Oh my God. and it wasn't because of, like something she was demanding or something. It was something that once again, I started to realize that would make me a better person, and better for her.
Well,
It's just slow.
It just helps you learn to be
I'm
less
slow sometimes.
selfish.
Yeah, but that's
So,
why I knew you was gonna say that word. And
well, because
been,
I got one. I mean, because I'm at home looking at one that's very. I'm talking about my son. Very selfish with his. Because I'm sitting there like, you ain't gonna never be able to have a woman. You so damn selfish. You said it ain't all about you all the time, or you got to learn to try to.
It's a learned trait.
Yeah,
boy.
that's
it's learned.
I see that's a
real.
difficult thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was maybe not to the nth level that he is right now, but hey, it was all about me, and that was, and I say it laughing, but looking back, I wish I had, I wish I would have had a clearer understanding of how selfish I was sometimes. So, but anyway, all right. So, goodness gracious, this flows right into that. What would you tell a young man or young you struggling to find motivation? Where should he start looking? And this is sort of easy for you and me because we have sons. But
it's like just trying to see what are your goals? I mean, that's what I want to know. Is like, what are your goals?
Do you have goals?
Yeah. Do you have any goals? I'm hoping that you have goals.
Well, that's the thing.
And then then it's like, okay, let's start looking at how to get to those, and then just start chipping away at them. You know, because the thing with a lot of young folks is you want to go from A to Z in one step instead of going, okay, let's get to C, let's go A to C. What's the things good there? Okay, let's go C to D or C to G. You know, so it's instead of trying to do it where it's like you're chipping away, you're learning the stuff, you know it, and you're not gonna falter once you get to that end goal. Then, but it's super hard because they get frustrated and then they want to quit. Yeah, and then they don't want to do it and want to try to do something else. All right, so it's just trying to get them to. Have goals. What are your goals? Then how are you going to get to those goals? You know, what are the steps to get to those goals? Yeah. And then just start.
Follow.
Yeah, start
steps.
Doing it. Yeah, start doing it. So, yes, that's what I would tell a young person.
And so I'm going to talk to me, young me.
Okay.
Because the kids now. I was stubborn.
I was gonna say, is young me gonna listen?
That's why I'm gonna talk to him. So young
so
me,
you know how to make him listen.
So
okay.
maybe somebody could take it from So the first thing is, what are your goals past your first move? Because my goal, join the military, was just to get out of Middletown, you know, and not just Middletown, but to get away from home, you know, and so. But after that, I didn't have I didn't have a goal to stay in the Army 5 years, 10 years. I didn't have a goal to achieve a certain rank when I left Middletown. I didn't have a goal to save a certain amount of money. I didn't have no goals like that. And so all of my understanding of setting goals came after experiencing a lucky accomplishment by joining the Army. Okay. So dealing with younger soldiers and remembering the type of soldier I was, I didn't always think I knew everything, but I always felt I could do it. No, I always felt like, well, I can do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You had confidence.
Yeah. I never once thought I was the smartest person ever in the world, but I always thought I could
figure it out.
Yeah, it can't be that hard. This joke was Sergeant Major. I could do that, and I'm a brand new private. So that's the kind of person I was. And so speaking to young me, the quicker I could get me to understand that this monumental move I made could be the pathway to my true success in life.
Be life-changing.
The more I could make my understanding, and that's the first thing I tell someone else, not Tommie. Tell him too. But when you make decisions based off of the goals you set, the only thing that has to go with that is your focus and your commitment. That's it. You can't set goals and then not make that a fierce thing that has to happen. You know what I mean? So I was 4 years in the Army before I got focused motivation. You know, I always had the energy to be the best I could be faster or stronger or whatever. That was just the little competition, athletic competition that was always in me. But the focused motivation and the focused effort, that is what I would tell young people. Because bottom line is, if you make the decision to join the military, you have to understand the only way you'll be successful in the military is by you trying to be the best whatever job you choose to be. That's the only way you'll be successful, because you may not get lucky and become a part of a team to where the squad leader or the company commander, if you're an officer, is going to take you under their wing and allow you to mess up a little bit, but still lead you on a path that helps you become a better person. You may not, for instance, be the most athletic person, so you may have struggles on your APFT, your Army Physical Fitness Test. That's on you, you know what I'm saying? And so the energy that you need to have and put towards your goals is all consuming. It has to be that way. And the quicker that you can understand that and realize that in your life, the better and more rewarding your life will be. You'll spend less time complaining about what you didn't do, what you didn't get, but you'd put all your energy into working. And that's where I was fortunate, and also that's where my failures were, especially when it came to relationships. Because once I learned that I can achieve anything if I work for it, that's free. You know what I'm saying? Me working for it is free, because that's something I have the energy. So now I can push myself towards it. And then anything that gets in the way that compromises your energy and your effort is something that you don't focus on. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to tell all that to say this. Whatever decision you make that you want to do in life, I would tell you that make the decision and then commit to that decision, and then that's where your motivation will come from, because you don't want to fall short of that.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I pass back.
No, I mean that's
because young Tommy, I'm serious, I would have had to box him in a couple times because it comes across as arrogant. But my confidence was very off-putting to a lot of leadership when I was very young, because I felt I could do anything.
It could come across as a lack of respect. You know,
absolutely.
People think it was a lack of respect.
Arrogance, which means lack of respect,
So, motivation isn't something that just you just wake up with. Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes it's proving people wrong. And sometimes it's you doing it, it comes from just the love of your family.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. And the real lesson is, whatever motivates you, hear me now, it has to evolve as your life evolves. You can't be the same person single as you are married.
Yeah, you sure can't.
You can't be the same civilian as you are in the military. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
From childhood to the military to being fathers and husbands, motivation changes, but it never leaves you.
Nope. It doesn't. Thank y'all for joining us for this episode of 4 Titles, 1 Truth. Now we want to hear from you. What really motivates you? Is it proving people wrong? You see that comes up a lot. Or is it proving yourself right? Or is it something else?
Yeah.
Let us know.
And just check in with us on all social media platforms at 4 Titles, 1 Truth, or watch us on YouTube at 4 Titles, 1 Truth.
All right, y'all, and join us next time so we can keep the conversation going.
There it is.
All right.
Holla.